Genius Fox News commentator Eric Bolling has some deep thoughts for us on the issue of presidential polls. Let's watch.
These polls, Dana, I'm honestly, we have to stop with these polls. They're insane with the polls. You look at these, just look what's going on. You look at a Trump rally and there's 12, 15,000, 10,000 people.
You cannot believe.
And then you look
Eric,
at Hillary Clinton and you have, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000. But that speaks volumes
that's
to
a
me
real
versus
disservice.
a poll 82 days out.
It's a real disservice to
whom?
His supporters to lie to them that that those polls don't matter. You cannot take 12,000 people at a rally that are your definite supporters. They are going to show up the campaign and then say the polls are wrong.
She has that opportunity.
But one person sitting at home still cancels out somebody at a rally.
It's not fair.
Here's why polls really shouldn't matter or shouldn't ever matter. You pick up the phone and you say, who are you going to vote for? That person on the other end of the phone says, well, I'm going to vote for Hillary Clinton.
But
they're not out there voting.
But when the polls
people
are
are
good,
getting out in the street and going to a rally. Those are people who get up off the couch and go hear something and go say something. That's why I think
you're saying they're
size
motivated.
of crowds is more indicative of following or even polling than actual people.
But I would say that a person sitting home getting up to vote cancels out the person there. It's the same value.
Remember, that's exactly what we said in 2012 when people that supported Romney were told that the polls are wrong, Romney's going to win, and then they were so mad and disappointed.
Yeah, they stopped watching because they thought we lied to them, and we deserved it.
Okay, that was cute. Let me tell you where Bolling is 100% wrong, embarrassingly wrong, and he should probably wear a sign on his chest that says shame or idiot. So there's one area where that's the case, obviously. I'm sure you guys can already point it out. But then there's one area where I think some people are being a little bit unfair to him, and I want to describe that. So here's where he's wrong when he says, quote, "We have to stop with these polls." And, quote, "Polls shouldn't ever matter." Oh, that is so stupid. Oh, that's on a whole nother level of stupid. Polls shouldn't ever matter. And we all know why he's saying it. He's saying it because his guy is down right now. His guy's Donald Trump, hates Hillary Clinton, and he's like, well, now they don't count. Oh, Jesus. Somebody should go back through the archives and look at what he said when Trump was actually up in the polls, because it wasn't that long ago. You know, there were 3, maybe 4 different times in this race where Trump was actually up. So I guarantee you there's got to be something out there of him citing poll numbers, whether it's attacking Obama when Obama had low poll numbers at one point or another. Like, see, nobody likes them. Polls. When they say what he doesn't like, polls. Quote, "Polls shouldn't ever matter." That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So obviously that's where he's wrong. Here's where there's a grain of truth in what he's saying. There is indeed an enthusiasm gap. So in other words, there's not nothing to the comment that Trump's rallies are bigger and the people are more passionate. No, there really is more enthusiasm, more passion for Donald Trump. It just so happens that a smaller percentage of the country is on his side and on his team and going to vote him and going to support for him. But the people who do support him are super enthusiastic about it. Now, Hillary Clinton, on the other hand, there's no denying. According to the polls right now, it's obvious because the last 20 polls or more now have her up. She's up by about 7 points on average. So more people support Hillary Clinton. Make no mistake about it. The polls ain't lying, bitch. The polls are not lying. But it is true that a lot of the people who vote for Hillary are just like, yep, Hillary Clinton. Whereas the Trump people are like, Donald Trump, make America great again. Fuck the Mexicans and the Muslims. Yes! So, you know, some morons can misinterpret from this, oh, those people are really loud, really passionate, really aggressive, really enthusiastic, and there's a lot of them at the rally. Therefore, see, that's proof that, Donald Trump is actually up and polls are irrelevant. Now, and understand, guys, so every time we talk about polls, like, for a while, I was going after Nate Silver because I think Nate Silver was doing the wrong analysis and not paying attention to the data and the information in the polls. So every time, I've maintained for a while that Trump was actually the favorite. And the race, and when he wasn't the favorite, the race was much closer than people gave it credit for. Why? Dude, the fucking poll showed that in the primary. I kept saying, when only 3 states had voted, I said it's almost a guarantee that Trump is going to be the nominee. It'd be a minor miracle if he didn't win. Only 3 primary states had voted. So I called that. This is when Nate Silver was writing fucking articles saying, the polls show Trump winning, but in reality he's going to lose, or something to that effect. Like, polls show him up, but that doesn't matter. Like, he was just over and over, never Trump. It's not going to be 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 Trump. I was saying all along, no, it's because of the polls. It's because of the polls that I'm telling you that Trump is going to win, or overwhelmingly likely to win in the primary. Well, that's the case now. When you look at the polls now, it is what it is. Hillary's got an overwhelming chance. The day where Trump was up and the day was when, was a closer race, that's not right now. Now, maybe the yo-yo effect will continue and Trump will make a comeback to one extent or another. But as of right now, if the election were today, landslide and a half, bitch. Hillary is destroying today. She's up in virtually every swing state. She's up in almost every national poll. So, in other words, my point is, the polls matter every single step of the way, and the facts matter every single step of the way. But yes, it is also true that one of the facts is there is an enthusiasm gap, and that goes in Trump's favor. So, he has a smaller group of people supporting him, but they love him much more than the wider group of people who are supporting Hillary Clinton. Many of them are just saying, Hillary Clinton, whatever, I guess I'll go vote for her. So that's important to remember. And actually, it was also the case with Bernie Sanders. Now, I maintain, given more time, I think Bernie Sanders would have won. Bernie Sanders started out with very few people in the country knowing who he is. He's an 107-year-old Jewish, maybe atheist, democratic socialist who admits that. But he's super likable. And he started with, very, very little support. And then over time, he went from nothing to 46% of the vote in the primary against the behemoth Hillary Clinton. Given more time, I think he would have overtaken it. But yes, Bernie Sanders had a similar thing going to Donald Trump in that he had fewer people supporting him, but a giant enthusiasm gap where people were like, Hillary Clinton, okay. But the people who liked Bernie, myself included, were like, yes, Bernie, because his policies were spot on. So it's the same thing. Bernie had way bigger rallies than Hillary Clinton, and what ended up happening? We all know what ended up happening. So Eric Bolling is a clown. Eric Bolling is a poll denier, but the only little grain of truth is the enthusiasm gap there. That doesn't mean Trump is winning. That doesn't mean he's up in the polls. He's not. He's definitely a clear underdog right now. But yes, he does have enthusiastic supporters.